Spectrum Studios teaches you how to create a successful podcast. Number 1, record your entire session and lose your audio for it every week. For the second time in a row, we have recorded 3/4 of our podcast, and a chicken has come in and pecked Neil's computer to death, and we've lost the audio data.
I thought we ate that chicken last week.
It was your new chicken.
Who keeps on letting these chickens into the studio?
Most places have problems with cats. We have problems with chickens.
Chickens with large anuses.
That's right.
So, thanks to the fabled butt chicken, we are nowhere near as friendly and happy and bouncy as we were when we were recording the first episode, because we lost all our audio. But we do have beer to make up for it.
Yes, we do.
This is how we really are. We're not all that happy and bubbly. That's all just an act. This is how we really are. Drunk and angry.
And fat.
No, there's only one fat person here.
Thanks, Jack.
It ain't me.
Okay, so let's go ahead and give you an update on what the schedule is, the program.
First, let's start with who's in the studio.
Ah, yes.
That's what I'm getting
Okay.
to.
All right.
So
Fine. Do it your way.
do it. No, let's let Amber do it. I did it last week.
Yeah, let's let Amber do it.
Yeah.
All right. Joining us in the studio today, we have da-da-da-da.
Jack Renard.
Neil Lee Griffin.
Somebody not special.
You ruined her. You threw off your wife's
Yeah.
groove, man.
I threw off the groove.
You threw off the groove.
Oh, they're throwing me out the window. No.
What are you doing here, Sam?
Oh.
Not special.
All right. No.
All right. Josh Moeller.
And of course, we have the wonderful and lovely me, which is Amber. And later, we will be joined by our number one fan, Steve.
Steve.
He will be our guest star for the show today. And yeah, that's the introduction. So, back to Jack.
All right. To kind of give you guys a quick overview of what's going to be going down this episode. First of all, shitty episode. Let's get out in front. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to say that it's an awesome episode.
Skip to the end now.
Yep. Second of all, first we're gonna kind of sit around and do our standard, we'll bullshit a little bit, let everybody know what's going on in our lives and everything. And
Really?
what is your wife stealing your cakes?
No, she's ripping them open. Can't you hear that on the...
That's not going to be a
Well,
big deal.
we do now. Okay. So here's what's going to be going down. First of all, we are going to go ahead and do our standard, bullshit. Let everybody know what we've been up to for the last couple of weeks. Then we're actually going to let you know what we are up to as Broad Spectrum Studios. And unlike last week when we kind of flaked out of it, we are actually going to announce a new production that we are very excited about. Ooh.
What was that?
Ooh.
Let's hear some excitement, guys.
Excitement.
Woo.
I can't wait.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Yes.
Everybody rabble. Rabble,
Yes.
rabble, 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 rabble.
Tell me now.
No.
I need to know now.
No, you have to
Now,
wait.
He needs to know now.
You have to wait.
He has suicidal tendencies.
Yes.
You were there last week when we recorded it.
I'm loading the gun.
This can make the show a lot more interesting.
I'm loading it. Still loading it.
It's taking you a long time to find that gun.
Yeah, I'm loading it.
I'm loaded.
Loading the
You
gun.
think you put something like that where you can find it easily,
Yes, you think I...
as often as we have to use it on the...
Oh, wait, I had them in backwards. Hang on. Boy, was I wrong.
What the hell?
Oh no.
You just brought your automatic rifle into the studio today? Your AR-15?
I
You
might
got a
have.
permit for that, pal?
I might not.
Okay.
How do you kill yourself with an automatic weapon?
So we do have a new production that we are going to be announcing today. Very excited about that. As Amber stated, we do have a very special guest star with us. We're actually going to kind of change up the formula a little bit. Normally we go through our introduction, we go through our project update, then we go into our guest interview. Actually, we have our guest star, Steve the Fan, in here with us today in the studio, so he's going to be actually commenting with us throughout the whole spiel. It's not going to be just a standard interview.
All right.
And finally, we'll be concluding with another review of Fuckles. What do we pick?
Skeleton Key.
Skeleton Key. It's we're actually
Retro review.
Kate Hudson.
Yes.
Is that who's in it?
Yeah.
It is Kate Hudson.
Okay.
You didn't even know Bolt was in Travolta Fuck.
John Travolta was in bold.
How much of that beer have you had? You didn't know either.
Not enough.
Look, if I can't see the actor, I don't remember who they are. And if I can see the actor, I don't remember who they are.
Yeah,
See, okay, this is the bad part, because the other day we were watching whatever new movie, not The Cat Returns, but the Laputa. And Anna Paquin says like one line, and I can pick out her voice. John Travolta, I've watched Bolt how many times at work, and I didn't know that was John Travolta.
So you did hear this. She watches movies at work. She doesn't work.
Oh.
That's what they do at a video store.
So, yes, we are actually doing a retro review. We were very pleased with our Prometheus review, but honestly, we're kind of behind. We're not. If there's a pulse, okay, and there's a finger, far from being on the pulse, our finger is shoved straight up our asses. Okay,
Hey, I got a pulse.
we are not cutting edge, bleeding edge news. So by the time we get our Prometheus review out there, everyone else already has their Prometheus review. By the time we get our Spider-Man or our Dark Knight review out there, you're gonna have heard reviews from like 15 other sources. So we decided to kind of scale these back and start doing retro reviews. So we're pleased with that.
We do refuse to do Ghost Dog, though.
Oh, I don't know about that. You never say never.
Yeah, it is a cult classic.
It might be our claim to fame, guys.
It could be.
That might be the podcast that wins them all.
The only studio that reviewed Ghost Dog.
And without further ado,
20 years later.
let's... And without further ado, welcome to the studio, everybody. It is Steve the Fan.
Steve!
Steve. Introduce yourself to the internet, the entire world.
I am Steve, the one and only, and I'm the #1 fan of Broad Spectrum Studios.
Steve is our #1 fan. He's actually been with us from the beginning. We're going to give you a little bit of backstory on that. But before we get into that, we brought up a little bit something in the intro that I want to address. We were all going through our movie collections, trying to figure out what should be our review today. And I don't know how we got on the subject, but we got talking about the last Transformers movie, Transformers Dark of the Moon. And due to the circumstances, I and a lot of other Broad Spectrum personnel, like Neil Lee Griffin and Naomi Reineke, got to see that in theaters, but the Moellers were unable to. So...
some crazy clause about you're not supposed to answer your phone when you're in the theater. I mean, something along those lines.
Yeah, so I naturally assumed that since we're all pretty decent Transformers fans around here, I assumed that they had already watched it on DVD, and Josh claimed that he hadn't. So
Apparently I have. I just don't remember.
yeah, like Josh, don't you remember? It was the one where Prime kills Megatron, where they had Sentinel Prime, where they, I'm referencing all the robot battles and everything, and Amber goes, "Oh, yes, Josh, you do remember that one. Because remember, it was the one with the Victoria's Secret model, and she was working for Patrick Dempsey, and Shia LaBeouf had this coworker who is Asian." Like, apparently, when Amber goes to watch a Transformers movie, she watches it for the romantic coworker subplot. When I go to watch a fucking Transformer movie, I go to watch Prime beating the shit out of Megatron, and Starscream, fucking firing missiles everywhere. Not Amber. She goes for Transformers for the social drama.
She's like, man, why'd they screw up this Transformers when you're putting these dang giant robots in?
Yeah, I would much rather...
Hey, I like Victoria's Secret. They put a model in the movie. It's gonna keep my attention.
God.
Michael Bay, I love your movie. I'm gonna let you finish, but it could have been so much better if you just got rid of all the robots and just made the whole thing about Shia LaBeouf's quest for love and his difficulties in understanding the way that women work.
With the entire Victoria's Secret model crew.
Yes, and because it is Michael Bay, why don't you just have them all blow up randomly?
Yeah.
No!
Think of that together.
And the model's bad acting. Let's not forget that.
So
I already did.
Steve forgets a lot. Steve may have a mild form of amnesia.
Steve, do you remember how you got here today?
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, no.
I didn't think so.
Wow.
As expected.
Where am
Fourth
I?
dimension, anything can happen.
In Steve's defense, that could have something to do with how we had someone dressed in a pig costume sneak up behind him as he was approaching his car and knock him out with chloroform and then drag him to our location where he woke up in a bath of cold ice water.
And we told him the only way he's
Change your
going
toilet.
home is if he, is our #1 fan.
I think it's because of the time you glued the wig to my head and then pulled it off.
That was fun.
We actually did do that.
Did you guys do that?
Yeah.
Why was I a part of this?
It was for Guilty.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought you would help me with it.
You were.
The wig we made for the
Pat.
The judge.
yeah, for Pat.
Yeah. That's
and you were
right.
commenting about jizz in your pants?
You were the dummy that we were gluing the hair
we had
on.
the
Hey, Steve, wear this.
wear this shower cap while we soak it in hot glue and put this
Cotton on it.
Yeah, it's a really good thing that OSHA has never asked to come to our studio because we have all kinds of human rights violations going on.
No. It's not human rights violation if they volunteer.
No, because
I did not volunteer. I was asked to do it.
there was one of our many
And then knocked out and dragged.
for one of our many canceled productions. We needed a kind of a macabre clown. You know, that's original.
I remember this one.
The point is, this clown is supposed to have all kinds of different deformed features, like his face would be pinned up in a perpetual
His face
smile.
is falling off, so he needs to stitch it up into a smile and.
Yeah. So and the way we're gonna have, he was gonna have like bolts, like nails, nailing his face to his skull. And so we're sitting there trying to figure out how we're going to get, the makeup done for this, making the nail head stick to a skull. And Amber, resident makeup artist, goes, No, guys, you're way overthinking this. We'll just use real nails.
I like the idea.
I've got nails and a hammer, let's do it.
Oh, come on, you don't need the hammer.
Okay, the
Just
part
hit
with
it
the
with your
whole
hand.
thing is these are all the guys that don't do makeup. They don't understand how to use real nails in makeup.
Hey, I can use makeup.
Those tiny little holes in your skull, they'll heal.
It's
I'm actually, yeah.
Oh, whoops, I'm into tissue, sorry.
It's an orbit class.
Yeah.
It's a little foreshadowing, everyone.
Ah, yeah.
Wait for Scarlet Crow. So, all right. Well, now that everybody knows what we've been up to, let's go ahead and get on that project update. No hissing as well. Basically,
That's just stupid.
Steve the fan is a little bit new to being in front of the mic. He's
Nude.
He's also a
in
little
front of
bit
the mic.
nude in front of the mic.
He is a little bit nude.
He
in front
doesn't
of the mic.
realize that nobody's seeing this.
Actually, ironically, Steve, why don't you tell us?
Steve.
Why don't you tell us what happens whenever we finish up with the day's performance and we all head back to the Moeller's house for a game of D&D.
First thing that goes.
Yeah. How do you always kick that off?
I let Fine talk first.
No.
No. What is your number one prep thing that you do for a game of role playing?
I get my computer set up.
Try again.
And
I doubt that.
you.
I'm assuming you're talking about me taking off my pants.
Yeah, that would probably be the one I'm talking about, man.
But the first time, I got about halfway through before I took my pants off.
Oh, yes.
Now you just get into the door and you take the pants off.
Yeah, and
He's
then I
like-
take my shirt off later on.
He's
Like
like,
a
I...
breakaway, it's just like in the door, they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hot in there, I've got to get a little...
He's like, I'm
It's
a
okay.
cleric. This is my
Relax.
holy symbol.
The other day, Jack
Meow.
and Josh both took after Steve on this. So I'm sitting there with 3 guys, all in their skivvies.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. Josh and I have a very different relationship. It's just two gruff military dudes snuggling out their woes in a totally hetero way.
Exactly.
And I'm the one sitting on the sidelines watching it,
Yes.
apparently.
Now, how come when girls get together, it's hot? When guys just do that stuff, it's creepy.
It's creepy with the girl thing sometimes.
It depends on the girls, actually.
Yeah.
You're talking about Arcadia girls.
There you go again.
Arcadia girls, so hot they'll melt your popsicle, and other things.
Nickel!
I don't think that's hotness. I think that's...
I think that's the gonorrhea.
Oh.
2 trailer park girls running around the outside, around the outside.
Life you live in silence, so no one else will hear the sound of screams as you're drowning in your tears. The scarecrows that no one understands, and the lost souls buried in the sands. The child who hides his eyes, waiting for the day day turns to night, the night comes alive with the spirit from the souls you sacrificed. The scarecrows that no one understands, and the lost souls buried in the sand. The empty child who hides his eyes, waiting for the day to arise. Scarecrows that no one understands, and the lost souls buried in the sand. The empty child who hides his eyes, waiting for the day, waiting for the day to arise.
Hi, I'm Neil Lee Griffin, and I have a record that's coming out soon that will be available nationwide on iTunes and or Amazon. Haven't quite got all the details ironed out, but I have worked with Amber, who is playing
Scarlet Crow.
very good. It's almost like a gothic musical opera thing.
It is awesome.
It is a narrative story about a troubled young woman who is battling with a lot of demons in her life. I rounded up the whole broad spectrum crew to do this, so everybody had a say in everything, and so everyone's really a part of it. And we will be shooting a trailer for it soon, which will explain more about the story, and just we're really trying to hype this up. It's called The Diary of Scarlet Crow, and it will be out soon.
All right, exciting.
This part here, you may end up editing out, but I don't know if this was intentional. But I liked the way that when you were talking about it, you said you was a troubled young woman.
Oh, foreshadowing. Remember that, folks.
Yes.
Yes, that's kind of what's been keeping my time and keeping me busy, is working with Neil on this amazing album. And I am so excited for it. It will be coming out in a couple of weeks, which is awesome.
Let's go with soon.
Let's go as soon, because we don't have the trailer yet.
It will be coming out in...
Soon.
The future.
In the future. There we go.
Yeah.
The near future.
Very near.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need any near from me, so.
Alrighty, so...
Jack, what has been going on in your life?
Well...
You talked to Boo Boo Kitty Fuck lately?
Boo Boo Kitty Fuck still won't return my calls.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
Go figure. Speaking of, kind of to give you a little look down the line for Broad Spectrum, we are trying to get into more of this episodic content, releasing something every week instead of releasing one really cool thing every month. And with that, obviously we got the podcast. We're going to be hopefully dropping the podcast every 3 weeks. And on an alternating 3-week schedule, we'll be dropping an episode of Flintlocke. And on an alternating 3-week schedule from that, we'll be dropping an episode of something new.
Something
Dun,
new.
dun, dun.
Something new, and I guess you'll have to wait for episode 3 to find out what that is.
Oh.
Something fresher.
Something new
pleasant.
and
Yes.
very special.
Metal Gear Solid 4.
Wrong.
Blast.
Every time
Metal Gear Solid Revenge.
No.
Every time that someone asks for Metal Gear Solid 4, I'm going to feed a kitten to one of Josh's wolf dogs.
You, sir, are an asshole.
I am. Not going to lie. So,
It happens.
actually, on that note, speaking of what's going on in my life, I do have kittens.
You do have kittens,
Yeah.
yes.
How did you get kittens?
The conventional way from the Kitten Emporium. Where the fuck else? My cat got knocked up, man.
You knocked up your cat?
Yes, I do this little thing with my pinky, and it's no. Okay, no. First of all, I don't fuck animals. I make love to them. Second of all,
It got out, and it's not
Yeah.
his. He has to take care of the little fuckers, but they're not his.
yeah, I gotta take care of the baby mama and the little fucks, but they're not
this-
actually my children.
Is this content rated?
Not anymore.
No.
So
So all of our
on, they're 13.
younger fans, yeah.
we dropped F-bombs in the last episode. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Did we? Okay.
All right,
Well,
so
I'm glad nobody cares what's going on in my life right now, but that's cool. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, well,
No.
What is happening in your life?
go ahead, Prism Cunt Pants. What's going on in your life?
Nothing.
Tell us.
That is
Nothing
not
special.
true. He is in school right now going for welding.
Nothing special.
All right, so Steve the Fan, you are.
I needed that.
Steve the
Does
Fan,
each one
you
of
are.
those scream?
What?
Do they all scream?
Yes, dear. Did you stay?
No,
Ice cream. Yes.
keep
What the-
Amber away from.
But I want to scream in tune.
Fine. No, one scream, and then you're done.
After
Okay,
we're
no
done, you
screams.
can play with this to your hearts.
Okay.
Don't forget to say Steve the Fan before you hit that.
Steve the Fan.
Thank you.
This is gonna be a very long interview.
More beer.
Yeah, I do need more beer for this. Hang on 1 second.
What's my name?
Steve the Fan.
Say
What?
my name.
I gotta get this. Steve the Fan, you are Broad. Steve the Fan, you are Broad Spectrum Studios' first fan. Okay, first fan. As of today, possibly the only fan, but you've been there with us throughout all the years. You've been our groupie, our band-aid, our
Gopher.
Yeah, the gopher.
He has been the
Footstool. Dummy.
gopher in more ways than one.
Yes.
Ouch.
So, tell us.
Apparently petting stool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Steve the Fan, tell us what kind of reactions you get when you wear your sweet Broad Spectrum swag.
Hoodie, don't say swag.
When you wear your Broad Spectrum hoodie, limited edition hoodie, by the way.
Yes.
If you would like one, email us or mail us $20,
Yeah.
and we may or may not send you one back.
20. 50.
$50.
Yeah.
$50 for a Broad Spectrum hoodie.
She's attacking me now.
I'm not. I'm sitting right here.
She stabbed me with her finger.
I did not.
Okay, she's.
Girls, you're both pretty.
Yes.
Broad Spectrum Studios hoodie. How does it affect your love life?
It does not get in the way.
It does
Oh.
not get
Oh, there you have it, folks. Buy a Broad Spectrum Studios hoodie. It won't get in the way of your love life.
Oh, I like that answer.
But if you don't have one, it's not going to help that either.
It's a good conversation starter, though.
Is it?
Is it now? Tell us.
Yeah.
You started any conversations with your Broad Spectrum hoodie?
No, everybody else does by asking me why I'm wearing a broad spectrum hoodie.
Do they actually pronounce it correctly?
No,
Oh,
What do they say?
they ask why there's a spider web on my arm.
An orange spider web.
Yes.
Really?
It's a tesseract.
Yes, I tell them that.
it's better than why is there a swastika on your arm?
It is better
Yes,
than that.
definitely better than that.
All right, everybody. So we are going to be reviewing the Skeleton Key this week.
With
Ooh. Steve the Fan.
Kate Hudson.
I thought Steve the Fan was in it.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
the reason we're reviewing Skeleton Key is because we decided to swap to doing some retro reviews. We realized that we're not necessarily, on the ball, cutting edge news. So by the time we review a modern movie, everyone else has already gone and seen it or reviewed it, and you're not really interested in hearing that.
And nothing good has came out. So,
Although The Dark Knight Rises releases this week,
it's
and
not out yet, though.
And by this week, you mean the week that they hear this, it'll be 3 weeks after The Dark Knight Rises.
He's right.
Yeah.
But I am a big Christopher Nolan fan.
What, you're a big Christian Bale fan?
What?
Excuse me? So I fucking walk into your welding booth and tell you how to weld your fucking your weldables.
I'm sorry.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
then why the fuck are you coming onto my podcast and telling me and like just here I am walking in front of the podcast. Does this bug you? Does this bug you? Does this bug you?
Why are you
Stop starting!
caressing my
Stop
shoulder?
starting!
Stop starting.
You're fucking unprofessional.
Stop starting!
And
Stop starting!
we're
Stop
fucking
starting!
we're fucking done,
Stop
mate.
starting!
We're fucking done.
Stop starting!
We're
You're a
done.
great guy, but we're fucking done, mate.
Okay,
You're
so
on
the
the flag.
skeleton key with Kate Hudson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are
sorry.
we reviewing the skeleton key with Kate Hudson?
I
Yes,
thought-
Apparently.
yes, we are.
I
Guys.
thought we were reviewing American Psycho with Christian Bale.
Is it really hip to be square?
It is hit to be
It is
square.
hit to be square.
American Psycho needs to be one of our reviews.
Yes.
I've never
All
seen
right.
it.
We own it.
We'll work on it. So let's move on and go ahead and update everybody on what our next production is. Can I get some of that sweet fanfare that we had going on? All right.
Yeah, baby.
Neil's he's trying to put away his automatic weapon. Okay, there we go. Are you guys ready for this? Yes.
Oh.
After a long year in retirement, Broad Spectrum Studios has finally decided to don our talent once more for a new comic dub. That's right, I said a new comic dub.
Hallelujah.
Thank you. Alright, now before everybody gets excited,
It's Metal Gear Solid 4.
it is not Metal Gear Solid 4, alright?
You told me it was Metal Gear Solid 4.
I lied, Sully.
Does he need to bring the gun back out?
No, the gun's fine. It can stay where it is. So can your pants, for that matter. Okay. It is not Metal Gear Solid 4, guys, and I am sorry to say that, because I realize that is something that our fans really want to see. That's something you guys have asked for a lot, and I won't say that it'll never happen, but the
Probably
odds...
not.
Yeah, the odds are incredibly slim. The thing you need to realize is that we really do get more credit than we deserve for those hyperdubs. First of all, they're not our comics. They were originally drawn, penned, everything completely created by Peachy Fruit / Heim Daisy. Amazing artist, wonderful, funny girl, super friendly, was very helpful to us when we came to her and approached her about doing the collaboration for that, and was very supportive, so big thank you. But it was also a collaboration of a lot of different sources and influences from, all of our guest actors, like Chris Nazarelli, Sam Ward, Austin Matthews, plenty of guest actors at Fox Unit. And also we took a lot of influence from Strawberry Cream 46's Persona dubs. So the whole shebang was a big collaboration between a lot of different sources. It wasn't just Broad Spectrum Studios. And if we did Metal Gear Solid 4, which Heim Daisy has not written the comic for, it would be just us. And as such, it would be a massive tonal departure. Like, it would be very different from all the hyperdubs you've seen so far. And I won't say it would be worse, but it would definitely be in such a different direction that it might not be what you guys are wanting. So, unless Heim Daisy decides to pen a new Metal Gear Solid 4, which I don't believe she's really interested in doing that. I think she has specifically publicly stated that she's moving on to greener pastures. Unless she actually goes back and reneges on that and draws a new comic, it's probably not going to happen. All right, now that we discussed what our new comic up is, it's not Metal Gear Solid 4.
Narnia.
It's not that either. Good guess, though.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Close.
I hate you guys so much.
Narnia 2.
Monkeys on mines.
I need more beer for this. Our next comic,
Metal Gear Solid Revengeance.
Yes.
swear to God, I'm going to fucking sneak into your house
And
when
cut
you're
off your
asleep,
favorite appendage.
and
And what, Jack? Eat my pizza? You do that anyway.
Solid Metal
You know what?
Gear.
You know what? Fine.
do, huh?
Fuck you. I'm buying you a puppy. Okay. I'm gonna let you fall in love with this puppy. And raise it as your own.
I want a dog.
Give it toys. Fall in love with it so that you love this puppy so much. And then I'm gonna sneak into your fucking house and I'm gonna murder your wife.
Metal Gear Solid Puppy's Choice.
That's cool. I'll just take your cat.
Oh, not Altair.
Oh, yeah.
I call the dogs.
Yeah, we're going to sneak into your house, and we're going to take your cat, and then we're going to throw it to our puppies.
Yes. More facts about the Broad Spectrum Studios crew. The Moyers actually do own wolf dogs. So after all the hubbub, we are actually doing Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth. Now,
That's what it's
color.
called.
Oh, that sounds great.
we are dubbing Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth. If you,
Oh, whoops, sorry.
what the hell is
Get the car out of here.
You can't sit down in a music room, man. Neil's got all these different sounding whoopee cushions.
Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth, if you're not familiar with it, is a hilarious comic penned by Dave Kosak, a.k.a. Fargo, the founder of GameSpy. And it is set in the popular MMO RPG, World of Warcraft. Now,
That's
this
popular?
well, it used to be. I forgot what the latest statistics were. Like, I remember at some point they had like 18 million subscribers.
It's popular enough with that many people.
Yeah, and they've been dropping. They've been hemorrhaging them like flies. No one else can see that. Amber has taken Neil Lee Griffin's Griffin. That's his code word for it. And she has stuck her glasses on his Griffin and is pointing it at all of us, rubbing it furiously.
Lucky for me, she did not point it at me.
Stop stroking the Griffin.
Crap,
Yeah.
she pointed it at me.
Oh, I think that Griffin's spitting.
Oh, no!
Shag carpet.
Yeah.
Shag carpet.
It's fine. I'll let you
fix it.
later.
I thought it was called Broads.
So it is a wildly funny comic. It's not. There's a lot of things that are going to be different from it from the Metal Gear Solid hyperdubs. But if I had to say that we had a spiritual successor, this would be it. It's another one that we're going to be totally goofy, zany, off the wall, using all kinds of crazy voices.
And actually, is this our first dub that's in color?
Ooh.
Holy shit! It is.
It is.
Good distinction, man. I hadn't thought about that at all. There you go.
So all you colorblind people, you're screwed.
You know
That was our #1 fan. That was not us.
that was Steve the fan.
I was just passing out what they wanted to do.
But don't worry, we hate you guys just as much as Steve the fan does.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Especially the blind ones.
I can't. It's the deaf
At least they
motherfuckers
can hear
that
that.
We are so screwed.
Actually, Neil makes a very good point because that was a really cheap shot that I pulled just to get more views for the Metal Gear Solid hyperdubs.
Just to add color.
Yes, I would upload a demo version of the dub, and I've set on private, so I could tell what 3 thumbnails YouTube would let me choose, and then I'd go back and I'd edit that particular panel so it had color in it, so that when everybody's looking through YouTube and trying to find all these dubs, ours would be the only one that had color, and they'd be like, "Oh, someone did a color version of this comic." Nope. But no, this is actually a full color comic. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We are actually trying a couple of different strategies with it. For one thing, there aren't going to be as many visual tricks. I'm not planning on really putting a lot of the animation effects and stuff that I had in the hyperdubs into Flintlock, because I want to get to more of a schedule where we're putting out something every week. Rather than waiting a month and then putting out one really cool looking thing, let's go ahead and release one relatively shitty looking thing every week. So it's going to be a little bit less distracting visually, and it's going to be more focused on just the voice dubs themselves.
Hey,
It's
Jack.
still going to be cool.
It will be cool.
If you
Hey,
wake
Jack,
up in the morning and you find a white cat, it's me.
Yes. What do these podcasts look like? I wonder.
Black and white.
Well, I guess you'll just have to go to our channel and find out, you fucking Philistine.
No, they're black and yellow.
Black and yellow, black and
No.
yellow.
Oh boy.
For those who are wondering, the Broad Spectrum Studios signature color is orange. Okay, it's orange, it's not yellow, and specifically, it is color code number FF80CE. Okay, I don't know if I got those in the right order.
Okay, that's also known as Clemson orange and Syracuse orange.
Are you sure it's not
and
hyper orange?
Tennessee orange.
It's not any of those
It's
because
not because it's too. There's too much red in it.
Is it not hyper
Yep.
orange?
it's hyper orange. Yes, Steve the Fan is right. It's hyper orange,
Thank you.
and I don't know if I actually got those numbers and letters right, but because I am a little bit tipsy right now. But you know,
And you haven't even what?
trade secrets.
Yeah.
Yellow. Who
Chips.
thought our logo was yellow?
Steve the Fan, apparently.
No, I said black. She said yellow.
It's
I
not
did
black
not.
either. It's orange.
I was joking.
Okay.
I know
Regardless.
what it is.
So, Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth. We have already actually recorded the first dub. It's in the first episode, rather, and it's in the can, waiting to be edited
In color.
in color. So let's go around and talk about everybody's what they're most excited about with this new project.
The whole thing.
Steve the Fan likes the whole thing because he is Steve the Fan and contractually obligated to like it.
Well, so what excites me about Flint? Is that what you're asking me?
That is why I'm asking you.
Yes, Flint.
He's huge.
Well, he's a big, manly fellow that has meat hands, really meaty hands that it just gives me chills. Yes. Yes, and his hair is long and flowing like the wind.
Indeed.
Josh?
Well, see,
That sounds a lot like a description of Josh, actually.
well, I
It
like
might
him
be
because he's
Josh.
a.
What do you think about Flint?
Well, I like him because he's a big manly man with big meaty hands. Well, I like what you
Deja
said.
vu, guys.
Well, I like Flint because he's a big manly man with some meaty hands.
It just gets me all
It gets me like, girl.
Well, now I understand why you guys hang around
Yeah.
me all the time.
That's going to be a text message I learned for you guys for saying that. I'm going to send it to everybody.
girl.
I want that.
Oh, no, I truthfully just reading the comic and
By
Jack
reading,
and by reading I mean
Jack reading it.
Yeah,
I
so
was
us.
forcibly.
yes,
I do everything forcibly.
That is
Everything.
true.
everything at all. But
Get the griffin off my head.
Sorry, Steve.
nonetheless, no. One of the things I really like about it is it's honestly, at least for me, it's really just very funny. And a lot of you guys out there see everything that we do, but I guess these podcasts are supposed to be a little bit of a glimpse into who we are. And truthfully, if you were just to hang out with us in the studio, a lot of what I read in the Flintlocke comics is very similar to a lot of the stuff that we would just say. You know, it's just kind of that's the feel I get. It is broad spectrum. I wish we could have written it, but it's if you were hanging out with us, that's kind of the feel in the studio.
You know, I think that's something that makes it very difficult for us to come up with new productions, especially original ones, is we have a very relaxed, laid-back, very joking atmosphere. So, no
Put your pants
breathing.
back on.
No mouth breathing.
No mouth breathing. All right. We have a very relaxed, comfortable, joking atmosphere. We're always cracking one-liners and everything, and we like to laugh a lot. We're a very comedic bunch when we work. Although, historically speaking, our own original comedy tends to be a little bit weak. When we try to put together a skit, when we do something, totally by ourselves, we're not too good at comedy. We're pretty good at, doing adaptations of others' comedy, but it doesn't really show through ourselves.
Like a cucumber.
Yeah, maybe.
It's graceful as a cucumber.
Steve the Fan likes cucumbers. Who knew?
What?
I think that griffin on his head made him think of that.
Probably so. Okay. But, no, we've noticed that's kind of an issue with us, is we are a very funny bunch to ourselves, and that doesn't always come across in others. So it is nice to have an outside source that we can kind of reflect some of the humor that goes on between us without having to try to make an original production and fail at it.
Well, you see, I think what it is when you're looking at a comic dub, the people that are going to be drawn to it are either going to be drawn to it because of the studio that did it, or because they're familiar with the source material. And if they're familiar with the source material, the dub is funnier. Where when you're hanging out with us and we all have our, we watch the same movies, we know the same jokes, so when something's funny to us, it's funny to us because we know the source material. But if we're out here cracking one-liners to punch people who don't know what we do on a daily basis, it's not funny.
That's a very good point, actually.
If you're gonna watch our Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth, you're either probably a WoW fan or a Broad Spectrum fan, and either way, you can still read the material before we're releasing the dubs, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. But if we were just going to sit around the studio and set a mic in the middle of the room and just talk all day, you guys wouldn't know anything that was going on.
Amber, what are you most excited about for Flintlocke?
I have no idea.
Really?
There you have it. Amber Moeller doesn't even know that we're doing a dub? What?
Probably most exciting thing is they're going to use me.
Wait, can you cut that? No, that's staying in.
Yeah. Broad Spectrum Studios. Very pillar of modesty.
Yes. Using and abusing.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you clarify that a little bit? Because that is actually something to be excited about, but you should clarify why you're excited about that so it doesn't just sound like you're a stuck-up bitch.
I am a stuck-up bitch.
I can vouch for that.
Wow.
Okay, Steve, what do you think?
I think it's awesome.
All right, well, there you have it, guys. Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth. Look for it either uploaded 2 days before this podcast got uploaded or a couple days afterwards. Yay!
Yay!
When you look to the heavens, through all the clouds, to the space above, do you try to figure it out? When the rain begins to fall and the sun begins to fade, no, you're not alone in the friend that you've made. As the darkness rolls in, and you can't take it again, no, you're not alone. I am beside you when everything is wrong. I'm right here. When you feel them creeping in, a whisper in your ear, turning what you love into everything you fear. Reach out to me and I'll take you along to where we should be, so we can live on in peace. As the darkness rolls in, and you can't take it again, no, you're not alone. I am beside you when everything is wrong. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. is wrong, I'm right here. Just know you're not alone. I am beside you when everything is wrong. I'm right here. Just know you're not alone. I am beside you.
Okay, the skeleton key with Kate Hudson.
Yes, Skeleton Key with Kate Hudson. Let's talk about what this is about.
Things aren't always what they seem.
Ooh, we
And
like that at Broadspin Studios.
It had a very good twist in it.
Oh. And what was the twist? Let's go ahead and spoil that. The twist was, oh, hi, Steve.
Oh, yeah, you're here.
Steve, the
Wow.
fan.
Nobody sees that when you walk in.
Really, guys?
Steve the fan, be a dear, and read us the back of this DVD so that our fans know what the Skeleton Key is about. You can skip the barcode.
Haha.
Project.
That would have been hard.
In the mic.
Kate Hudson stars in The Skeleton Key, a supernatural thriller that weaves a tale of terror and suspense. When Caroline Ellis, Hudson, takes a job in Louisiana's bayous, she unlocks a deadly secret involving magic, conjure, and sacrifice that pulls her into a terrifying world of strange, frightening, and unexplained incidents. The key to escaping may lie in a decrepit attic, but if she dares to believe in what she discovers, everything she fears will become real, filled with endless suspense and bone-chilling scares. Ah! Hold on for this terrific ride with one of the best twists since The Sixth Sense, according to Melanie Moon.
I see. Did it actually say "ah" on the back of that DVD case?
No.
Mine doesn't have
he's just
that.
very fitting.
Yeah. I think the Blu-ray does, though.
Ah,
Only
yes.
on
Is the
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray in widescreen?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Don LaFontaine over here. Good intro, Steve the fan.
It was okay.
I screwed it up a few times.
No, we're good.
Yeah, you did.
But
Thank you.
rather than actually giving you a plot synopsis, what the movie is actually about is voodoo.
Actually, it's Hoodoo.
Hoodoo. It is
Hoodoo?
Hoodoo. That's right, it's
Yes.
Hoodoo, not
What
Voodoo.
baby?
You do.
Hoodoo. Who knew?
A
What
lot,
babe?
What?
A lot more
You've
dangerous than
obviously
Hoodoo.
never
What, babe?
seen Labyrinth, have you? Right
Steve the
to.
fan.
Fine.
What babe?
Yes, it's actually about Hoodoo, which is said to be a lot more dangerous than Voodoo. A lot darker and more menacing.
You know, that's something that personally is a hobby of mine, is paranormal investigation. Not in, like, hiding out in my parents' basements kind of way, but, just kind of investigating weird crap. Is that something that you actually looked at, Neil, is hoodoo?
I've done a little bit. It's the movie actually does a decent job of, like,
Explaining what it is.
explaining what it is, yeah.
Yeah, kind of, because that's my only knowledge of it is from the movie. And the one thing that I do remember from the movie was that they said I guess the biggest difference between hoodoo and other magic is that it can't harm you if you don't believe in it.
That was a major tenet in this movie. I really like that. I think it made a good kind of a parallel to a bunch of different real world phenomena where belief plays such a critical role. And
It's not just, it's magic, it's in the movie, it must be real. It's, our main character is struggling with what should she believe. Should she believe in it, or is it just a bunch of hocus?
now, I think one thing that really testifies to the strength of this movie is I am really not a fan of just about anything Southern. Unfortunately, Southern settings, Southern movies really just...
Southern woman.
Yes, thank you.
Except, one of the best movies set in the South is Forrest Gump. I like to say.
That is true.
He does
That
make
was-
good points.
that
Which was actually
filmed in Georgia, wasn't it?
Run,
in South Carolina, actually.
Oh,
It was
Yeah.
from South Carolina, I remember.
that's right.
So, barring obvious exceptions, Southern settings for movies just really don't tend to work for me.
Yeah.
But for Skeleton Key, it did. I felt like they approached a lot of the characters they weren't just simple Southern stereotypes, you know. You know, everybody's a racist, bucktooth ignoramus, you know. They actually made the characters interesting and compelling. Not just Kate Hudson, but also the people that she's dealing with in this house. It did have a nice twist. I don't like to hype twists too much because...
It's a twist.
It is supposed to be a twist.
It's a twist.
It is a twist.
It is a good one.
What a twist!
It is a good one, but again, if you like go into a movie expecting a twist and really expect to find a twist, and you're like searching for it, then one, you might figure it out before the end of the movie, which ruins it. Number two, you might be disappointed when you find out what it is, which I really feel like is what happened with The Village, which we all liked.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I like The Village.
Everyone in this room liked The Village, but everyone outside this room wants to burn all the copies in the world.
Yeah, well, and I think Neil made a good point when we talked about that, was nobody knew what to think of it because they had like 3 different movie trailers, and one of them looked like a horror movie, and one of them looked like an action movie, and one
Yeah.
There did seem to be kind of a case of identity crisis with regards to what they wanted that film to be.
It definitely
They
wasn't
did
scary.
that with Lady in the Water too.
They definitely did that later in
yeah.
Water because that was horribly marketed.
Yeah.
Like it was obvious why no one liked that one when they went to
I
theaters. 'cause-
loved that movie. I
Yeah.
wish I had seen it in theaters.
Speaking of The Village, the original title of it was supposed to be The Woods, but that was taken by Lucky McGee's
Yes.
Woods.
Oh, don't we own The Woods?
No, we own
You
backwoods.
own The Woods.
I just bought it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
so there's a review on Skeleton Key.
Yes.
So the Skeleton Key, we're going, breaking it down into our respective parts. For me, I'm obviously going to be criticizing mostly the visual elements, and I really can't say that there's anything that was really memorable cinematography-wise. I feel like they did. Now, let me put a little caveat on that. They did a great job of using a lot of camera tricks to show the hoodoo-related material, the magical areas. They did a really good job with that. But for the most part, the cinematography doesn't get in your way, and I think that understatedness, the low keyness of it, really helps because it allows you to focus on the story, allows you to focus on the characters, and you're not being constantly distracted by crazy camera angles, by crazy editing. Like, everybody loves the Bourne Identity and Transformers, but their biggest complaint is the edit foog. Like, these crazy, shaky, like hyper edited cuts that you can't tell what's going on. People love the new Star Trek movie by J.J. Abrams, but he used so many Dutch angles and so many weird camera angles in it and rotations and lens flares that for me it was very distracting from the movie itself. So the cinematography of Skeleton Key does what it's supposed to. It lets you, it sets the stage. It doesn't really communicate anything to you strictly through the camera work, but it also doesn't become distracting as the movie goes on.
Yeah. From a set aspect, I guess. And I guess I really didn't do any. I didn't do my homework here, but from the look of the movie, I would say that it's filmed mostly on location, and with the time frame being what it is, it's relatively modern. So there wasn't a whole lot of, there wasn't a whole lot of hands-on building set design, more scouting and stuff, and as I'm kind of into the more construction aspect of it, there really was very little for me to appreciate as far as the department that I work. I liked the movie as a whole, but there was not a whole lot I could kind of pick out and say, that's something I want to use, or I wish I had been able to do something like that, or why didn't I think of that?
And going along with that, from my department being the acting, honestly, when you think Kate Hudson, the majority of the movies that she does are your lighthearted romantic comedies.
That's a very good
That's a
point.
very good point.
That was a good departure for her.
And it really brings out her abilities to draw different emotions from you, because there was nothing lighthearted, romantic, or any of her traditional roles about this. And she's done that a couple times with movies.
That's probably why I couldn't remember it was Kate Hudson.
Yes, you think Hudson, you think How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah.
There are certain
Romantic
actors,
stuff.
in my
I mean,
opinion,
she was in
that stay in a particular genre. Like, it's hard for me to... And Amber knows this. I've told you guys. It's like, I can't watch Brendan Fraser in a movie that isn't a comedy and think, where's it getting funny? Because he, in my mind, is a comedic actor, even though I don't really like anything he does. He's
had a very hard time.
Ben Stiller's a comedian that I don't
Right.
really like.
They've had a very hard time.
I
If you watch them
understand that
doing comedy, they do a good job with their craft. That's why they have such a big following.
Mm-hmm.
But they have such a hard time breaking out of it that you don't like it when they try.
Yeah, and I have a hard time going the other direction. I'm not a big comedy fan, but I have a hard time watching Robin Williams in a movie that's not comedic. So
Makes a lot of sense. That is a big testament to Kate Hudson's talent that she was able to pull it off. And I hadn't even thought about that until Amber brought it up.
Me neither.
That's why I'm the actress.
Oh, come on, I'm good at acting.
And the man that Kate Hudson is caring for is played by John Hurt, actually.
Yes.
I forgot
That is
that.
true.
I forgot
It's
that
been too
too.
long since I've seen this
Yeah.
movie. I
Yeah.
really like John Hurt.
Yeah, he's
Who's that again?
He'll always be Hellboy's dad to me.
That's right.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
He was also was
Alien.
he an
An
alien?
alien?
Which one?
He's the one that.
With the chest burster.
Yeah.
That was John Hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's a good thing we reviewed Prometheus and not Alien.
And Spaceballs.
was. Yes, yes, he had the same scene
Yes.
in Spaceballs.
Yes.
Not again. On to the sound and music. The sound, I thought, was very sparse, which is very good in a film like this, because it's not all trying to be creepy all the time. He used a lot of silence. You know, when she's
Like a Hitchcock movie almost.
yes,
Yes.
very Hitchcock, who I think we all love.
Yes.
Why'd you look at me?
I didn't.
Oh.
That's why.
Steve the fan, getting in the way.
As always.
Music is very important in movies, but also is silence. Because if you don't have the silence, the music and the sound isn't as stark in this thriller case in which it is utilized. And one thing I noticed is that they used a lot of New Orleans music, which I thought was really good.
That really helps
Yeah.
set the atmosphere.
Oh yeah, and the choices that they made really, it almost deviates from it, but I think when you look at the whole thing, it really makes sense because you are in the bayou, and that's what it sounds like down there. That's what the music is, and I really enjoyed it.
I think you make a good point. That I think that's actually something that really kind of crosses the divide between both cinematography and sound and music. Is too often today in thrillers or horror films, there's this very American obsession with
Let's
let's
build
show
up the
everything.
tension.
Let's
Oh,
With
yeah.
the music.
It sounds like
I'm going to show you everything.
It's like we're Mickey Mousing it. You know, every single action is scored. Every single monster is shown, and I think that filmmakers too often forget that what you don't see and what you don't hear is a lot more important in the case of a horror or suspense film
Oh, absolutely.
than what you do. In fact, that's actually an Alfred Hitchcock quote, was suspense is not a bomb going off. Suspense is a bomb not going off. You know, you're sitting there and you're waiting for it. And
Yeah, to be honest, I've really kind of not. I really don't like a lot of American horror because I don't think we do it well.
No, we don't.
We use the music to build up to some crescendo, and then something does happen.
Dun,
And it's always the same. It's always
dun, dun.
it always ramps up on strings or something, and it's boring.
Yep, and they always
Fine.
show you too much. Like, Jaws, I realized that Steven Spielberg was upset that the shark wasn't working properly, but truthfully, the movie was better because you didn't see the shark. You know?
very true.
There are other movies. There's one movie in particular. I don't want to mention it specifically because we don't know if we'll review it or not. But that movie I thought was great until the last 20 minutes. If I had not seen the last 20 minutes, I would have loved it.
Yes, we know what you're talking about.
I know.
So that's actually kind of funny. This is kind of it's an inverse review. We've all gone around and talked about the different elements of Skeleton Key, and all of them are very, nothing to write home about, and that's like nothing that's really sticking out in your mind. And that's part of why it works so well. Is it's just it's very simple. It's very downplayed.
It's real. It's
It
not
is.
like fantasy or anything.
Exactly. It
It's
doesn't
very down to
feel
earth.
like it's overdone. Like it's a Hollywood horror film.
Okay, Jack. What is your score on the visuals?
I'd say the visuals, like I said, they do what they're supposed to. They aren't very memorable, so I can't give them a really high rating. I'm actually gonna go with 2 dimensions out of 4. But as I said, they don't get in the way of the film. They're very standard. It's not. There's nothing really special, but there's nothing really horrible either. It's smack dab in the middle. 2 out of 4 dimensions on the visuals.
Audio wise, I'm gonna say 2. I'm gonna say 2. And the reason is the score itself wasn't very memorable. What I remember most is the Louisiana music, like the songs that they used in the movie to set the tone for the bayou in Louisiana and all that. That stuck with me a lot more than the score, which isn't a bad thing, but this is a thriller, so it should have something with a little more meat in it. Audio-wise, for the skeleton key, 2 out of 4.
I'm gonna say from the prop department, I guess I'm gonna give it a 3, and here's why. As far as physical props and costume design, the time period was very now. Everything was filmed on location, so everything looked real because it was. There was they didn't really have to have you had to have your lighting crew and stuff like that, but with the cooperation of the people in Louisiana, they were able to get everything they needed on site. They didn't have to build anything, makeshift anything, and I like that aspect of it. I like seeing new gadgets and tricks being used in the field, and so I don't feel like the sets took away from the movie. They were very good, but if this were me on set with this department, I wouldn't have had a whole lot to do, and that would so I'm going to give it a 3.
Now, for me, in the acting point of view, I would definitely have to give Kate Hudson a 4 out of this movie. When you think Kate Hudson, you think about the romantic comedies she does. You don't think about, Skeleton Key or other movies that aren't light and fluffy. She's a very lighthearted character in almost all of her movies. And to really see her pull it off so well in this movie that she's believable in every aspect that she does. She's got a couple lighthearted scenes towards the very beginning, but she's very attentive. She's very everything her character is supposed to be, and it completely brings out the dynamic abilities that she has as an actress. And then, of course, they just had a great cast with everybody else there, including John Hurt.
Yes, John Hurt.
Who was the original person she showed up to do the caretaking for. And so, you've got your great cast. You've got Kate Hudson, who completely pulled out a new side of her acting for this role, and solid 4 out of 4.
All right, well, there you have it, guys.
Highly recommended.
Yes.
Highly recommended. 2.75 out of 4 dimensions for The Skeleton Key, starring Kate Hudson. Look it up. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again for the Broad Spectrum Studios Hypercast. If you managed to make it this long,
Wow,
all the way through the end, we commend you.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, I turned this off like an hour ago.
Thanks, Josh,
Not a problem.
for turning off our 45-minute long podcast.
Oh, is
an
that
hour
why
ago.
the recording stopped working?
Could be.
Yes, could be. So, once again, big thanks to Steve the Fan.
You're welcome.
Steve the Fan,
You're welcome.
why don't you go ahead and take us out? Let's have you rant today.
Yeah.
What would you like to talk about? What's something that's on your chest you need to get off? Beside your shirt, leave that on.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was going to take my shirt off.
Something Broad
I'm
Spectrum's
very
doing,
much
or-
looking forward to the Flintlocke stuff.
All right.
You heard it right here. Steve the Fan loves Flintlocke.
Oh yeah.
Steve the Fan.
Say my name.
We got to put a limit on that.
What? Saying Steve the Fan?
All right.
Who is that who keeps screaming?
Steve the Fan
Thank you.
has officially left the building. Thanks again, everybody. We will see you in a couple of weeks. Keep your eye out for Flintlocke's Guide to Azeroth, as well as the Diary of Scarlet Crow coming soon, and
Check out Skeleton Key.
Check out Skeleton Key.
Key. Yes.
And look for an unnamed production from Broadspur Studios coming soon.
Unnamed, you say?
Unnamed.
I am excited.
I better smell your Solid 4.
I
Out
bet
the
it
window.
is.
Stop starting!
Stop starting!
Stop on.
Does this booze you? Does this booze you?
Jack
Okay, this is Broad Spectrum Studios signing off.
Stop starting!
Later.
Stop starting! Stop starting!
Everybody say bye.
Stop starting! Stop starting!
Asshole.
Bye, guys.